So ironically, I can tell you the moment. So in theater, when you're kind of working on a new piece or a new project, you tend to workshop it. There'll be readings of it and you edit and can have actors come and read. And then hopefully if successful enough, you can workshop it. So kind of our first production of I Will Wait was what I view as like a workshop. You're kind of just like,
hi, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 15-ish minute coffee chat. This is season 6, and we are having a conversation that provides tips for every entrepreneur and business owner. Hi, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 15-ish minute coffee chat. This is season 6, and we are having a conversation that provides tips for every entrepreneur and business owner. I'm super excited. Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm excited for today's conversation because I feel like so many of us have some awesome passions that we wish we could make money at, right?
Yeah. Yes.
I
think that's like every entrepreneur is like I want to take something that I love doing for somebody and can I make it into a money maker? Or at least there's something to bring some income in, right?
Right. Well, think about it, right? Like, how did we get this podcast started? We were like, or this live stream, we're like, let's just do it because we're going to have fun at it. And now we love it, right? But now we're making it into a money maker at some point, right? And we're going to be giving tips and tricks and ladies, right?
Yes, all the things, Anna. So, okay, hey, tell everybody what our call to action question is. What do we want to know from everybody today?
Yeah, so if you're watching live right now, we want to know, what are you passionate about? If I were going to answer for Selena, I would say she's passionate about coffee, right?
Yeah.
What would you say I'm passionate about, Selena? Yeah.
Writing your children, you know what I mean? Like leisure time and like self-reflecting. Actually, currently, I think it's Anna's pool. That's what she's passionate about. So
I actually am that is a daily passionate activity. I love it.
Yeah. It's a goal of ours, guys, in season 7 or 8 to do a show in the pool. So we're trying to figure out how to make this happen. So
we got to find the guests for that.
Yeah, right. All right, guys. Like Anna said, she's asking you down below. You'll see a little thing going by. What are you passionate about? We just want to know. Is it crocheting? Is it watching Muppet shows? Is it whatever? Maybe do reviews and you become like an amazing influencer. Who knows? The world is your oyster. Tell us what you are passionate about. We really want to know.
Yes. Yeah. So today's guest that we have, Amy Uptgraft, we're going to pull up her bio, but let me just tell you a little bit about Amy. She is the founder and artistic director of the Veterans Spouse Project. She's also a playwright, and she has written a full-length play called I Will Wait. Amy grew up in Indiana, and she received her BA in theater performance from Purdue University. She has worked as an actor in New York City. She's performed in numerous productions around the country. So we're not talking about somebody that just was like, oh, I love theater, in high school was like the drama queen or something. This is somebody this is what she was thinking would be her profession, right?
Yeah.
She's also taught hundreds of students and directed shows from Alaska to Georgia. She wrote the play Ridge, Where They Cry, and is currently creating a new work based on the story of a famed military spouse, Julie Moore. So she's a military spouse. Amy's a military spouse. 21 years before her husband, Lieutenant Colonel, retired from the Army. And they recently settled in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, which is a beautiful part of the country, where she continues to write and act and direct. So we're going to bring Anna up. Yeah?
Yeah. All you, Anna.
All right.
Hi. Welcome to the show.
Thanks,
okay, wait. Now I have a question for you. Were you a drama queen in high school? Like, did you play one?
So I did, when Anna said that, I did have a little like, yeah, I think if you were to ask my friends and family if I were a drama queen in high school, I think the answer would be Yes, I did enjoy my fair share of high school drama. Yes, and not on the stage, just in life. I did enjoy it.
I imagine your high school years a lot like Glee. You know, the TV show Glee.
Yeah.
Yes. Amy in high school being like.
Yeah, you're not that far off. I was in show choir, a lot of theater, a lot of very boy crazy. Yeah, and small town in Indiana, pretty much dead on. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, man, I was obsessed with that show. Now I'm just gonna have to ask like Amy offline, like so much things. But okay, we're not here to talk about Glee. We're here to talk about
Amy. I can, if you want to. Yes. We can talk about Glee.
Okay. Before we really get into all of the questions that we have for Amy today, we want to do our coffee cup selfie with her because
I'm ready.
She told us a really funny story about prepping before she came, and we're just so glad.
I know. My earphone did fall into my coffee cup.
Yeah.
This is my Dolly Parton cup. She's my fave.
Love it. I went to Dolly. I mean, not to like steer off topic.
Poured myself a cup of ambition.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Makes me want to start singing.
I know.
Are you close to Gatlinburg and Dollywood? Like,
so
how
we
close
are 50 minutes. I am a season ticket holder.
Of course.
Yes. She is. I just love her. I love her. She is the epitome of somebody who entertains across every demographic and generation. And I love her.
Can you please write a play that's based off the 9 to 5 song, but in a military spouse world? Like, could we do that?
Yes,
okay,
absolutely.
Right.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. All right.
We'll add that next.
Yes, add that to the long list of things. Okay, on 3.
Wait,
1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, you got there on. Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you, Amy. Cheers.
Cheers. Yay.
Cheers. There really is just coffee in here. So real fast, before we get started, we are in 3 different time zones right now of the recording of our show here. I'm in Hawaii, Amy's in Tennessee, Anna's in Texas. So yeah, hey guys. Military life.
Keeping it real.
Yeah, we are. Totally. Okay. Okay, Anna, what are we doing? Like, what's next? I'm so excited about Amy that I'm like all clamped, or I don't know what the proper word is. I'm excited. I'm excited.
So today what we're going to do, we really liked, so last week we had Jan Kaeo on, and she is a leadership expert with Dale Carnegie in Hawaii.
So good.
And so we did these hotshot questions for Jan, and we've done something a little bit similar with Amy. And really what we're focusing on today is she took a passion of hers and she has turned it into a nonprofit. And for anyone that runs a nonprofit, you will understand that running a nonprofit is just like running a for-profit. It's the same thing. You have all the same responsibilities, plus the added benefit, the added responsibility of fundraising in order to make your financial goals. So I would even put it maybe on that next level difficult. You know, it's like having to make sales or business tanks, right? So, so we've got 4 questions coming up for Amy today, all about how she turned her passion into a nonprofit business and kind of what that looked like for her. So we're just going to go ahead and get started with question number 1. I'm going to throw it up here on the screen. And Selena, do you want to take the number 1?
Yeah, I'll do number 1. Okay, Amy. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. How would you identify a passion versus something that just seems like it would be a lot of fun?
Well, so I would argue that my passion is also a lot of fun. I do genuinely love to do it, and it is a lot of fun. But I think for me, I just realized there was a point in my life where and this is going to sound dramatic, so just brace yourself. But I didn't want to live without it. Like, I remember when I went to college and my dad was like, okay, so what are you going to major in? And I was like, theater performance. And he was like, okay, well, what else? And I was like, no, just theater performance. And he was like, well, what about like a minor in education? And I was like, nope, just theater performance. Like that's, and and we went down the list like, well, I think you would be great at this. And what about this? And I was like, there's actually nothing else I want to do ever. Like I want to do this. And I know it won't make me any money. And I get that it's a terrible idea on paper, but I don't want to do any of like this is what I know I was meant to do.
So, I just have to. I watched a TED talk today, a TEDx talk today, and it was about this. And though I can't even tell you the name of the speaker, but she was talking about if you want to be successful. And she said, your success better be rooted in something that keeps you up at night. Because if you didn't have it in your life, you would be miserable. And I was like, oh, that's such a powerful comment. And that's exactly what you just said, basically.
Yeah.
Like it would keep you up at night. You would be miserable if you did not have this in your life.
And that's just how I feel. I mean, I think that's partly why, it took me a long time to kind of find out how to marry the military and the theater. Cause it was hard, they don't necessarily fit together. But it never went away. I mean, I was like, I could go get a job doing this, but I just want to do this.
Doesn't fill your cup, right?
This is where I'm meant to be. This is, when I walk inside a dark, musty, empty theater, I immediately am like, this is home. This is where I belong.
Whereas I'm like, oh, I'm in a horror movie.
I know. It's fair. That's fair.
I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh. No, I love that. And I think that's so true. Like you said, right? Just if I can't live without it, it's just,
and it just, I just kept circling back to it. I mean, I think I would be like, it's not practical for military spouse life. It's not practical when you have a million little children everywhere and your spouse is never home. Like this isn't practical. I should do something. I should really find a real career. Like I should. And then I just was like, but I don't want to. Like, I don't like, this is it. This is what I want to do.
I'm going to ask you this. Don't you hate when people say a real job?
Yeah. Yes.
I come from the restaurant background and people are like, so what are you going to do for real? And I'm like, I'm for real working. I'm for real getting a paycheck.
I'm really doing this real job.
Really doing this
right now. Yeah.
So, it's funny about it. Okay, anyway, I just thought I'd ask that question because I'm like, oh, this is why I think I'm going to enjoy Amy. Like this could go longer than 30.
I'm having a great time already.
I know. Okay, Anna, let's shift over to that second question. Or, we have to have a backstory. So Anna's going to ask.
Yeah. So we realized that with the second question, we do need Amy to just give us a little more information on something. So Amy, can you talk to us a little bit about your play that you wrote, the I Will Wait play? Just tell us about it.
Love to.
Okay.
So back during my husband's 4th deployment, I had just had our 4th baby and was having a hard time. Was in a depression, was seeing a therapist, and was just kind of in that moment that maybe we don't all go through, but I definitely went through. We're like, how did I get here? Like, what? Whoa, did my life really take a lot of hard turns? And so I just decided that for me and in the theater and the background, that I was just going to put all of what I was feeling into a play. It's kind of how my brain works. I think in dialogue. And so I just started to write, and I started then to interview other spouses and spouses that were my peers. I went into retirement homes and interviewed World War II spouses and Korean era spouses and VFW, the VFW, Vietnam era spouses. And the stories that were just pouring back to me were like, they were just stopping me in my tracks. And so I just kept like putting it in. And so I Will Wait is what came out of it. And it is a play that starts in World War II and it moves to Korea, the Korean War, Vietnam, Desert Storm, and then ends in the current cycle of war. It has 5 original songs that a rock band plays, music from kind of each era, some genre, era. And it just tells the story of military spouses. It tells the story of sending people we love to war and how it changes them and how it changes us. And it addresses some of the things that are unique to those particular time periods. And then it also addresses the things that are just universal in how war changes, not just the service member, but all the people that love them.
I love that.
And so that's
wow. I know, right? Like I get chills when she talks about it. Maybe because I am a military spouse, right? So I'm like, I know that journey. And then I think about my mother-in-law and my mom, who were both Vietnam era spouses of soldiers, right? And I think I don't really know their journey, but I do kind of like, you know what I'm saying? We hear so much about the veteran journey, and we don't talk all the time about that spouse journey. And the people that are at home sending their soldiers off to war. Anyway,
I mean, but you just create this connection with all the generations, right? Like you allow me to connect with my, like Anna, like with my grandmother and with, and wow. Amy.
Well, there was a moment where I talked to this woman, Rosie, who was a World War II era spouse. And she talked about how the day that Pearl Harbor was attacked, they were out in the country riding in their car and they heard it over the radio. And she knew instantly that her life was going to change. And it just knocked me over because I can remember brand new First Lieutenant Amy Uptgraft when 9/11 happened. And I remember him walking through our door and me knowing our life is going to change forever. You're not going to get out of the Army, are you? We are going to do this until we're not. And just that moment, 70 years apart, but the exact same experience.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Hollywood, Lin-Manuel, you guys, right? Just saying, right? This is, wow. Okay. I can't even, like, I'm a loss for words, but that is okay, you guys. So now you know the basis of what has started Amy into what she is doing. That literally, though, is this available on a Hollywood VCR, a DVD streaming?
Well,
like how do you get the pleasure? I know it's coming though, right, Amy?
We're working on it. We're working really hard to get it into more homes for sure.
Yeah,
we're gonna manifest this out, Lynn. Absolutely. This is a great play you should take on. Okay,
Lynn, let's do it.
Let's do it. Lynn, come on, join us.
Everybody watching has no idea who Lynn is because that was before we started recording. So you better explain who Lynn is at this point.
Who doesn't know who Lin-Manuel is? Like Moana, Hamilton, and the latest in the
Heights.
Yeah, I mean.
Mary Poppins Returns. He's everywhere.
Yes, I mean we could go on and on, right?
I mean, he's everywhere.
If you don't know who Lynn is, you don't deserve to listen to the rest of the show, you guys. Like seriously. I'm kidding.
Don't
get out of here. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Continue on because we have further great questions that Anna is gonna throw upon Amy.
So that was just, I mean, what Amy just talked about is really so it's just moving, just listening to her talk about the process of writing this play and how it came about. And that's just the backstory. So our question, Amy, for you now is, when did you know your play was going to be bigger than just an idea or a single effort? And when I say single effort, I mean like you write a few scripts out and you're like, this is awesome, but you don't actually go anywhere with it, When did you know it was going to be bigger than that?
So ironically, I can tell you the moment. So in theater, when you're kind of working on a new piece or a new project, you tend to workshop it. There'll be readings of it and you edit and can have actors come and read. And then hopefully if successful enough, you can workshop it. So kind of our first production of I Will Wait was what I view as like a workshop. You're kind of just like throwing it all out there and you're inviting an audience because theater really only works when you have a live audience to react to it. Right. And then you're just going to see, which is terrifying because you're like, what happens if it's just terrible? So we were workshopping it and the cast had about 25 actors in it. There were 100 plus people watching it. And I was backstage at the end, about halfway through the first act, towards the end of the first act. And there's a really, I hate to give anything away, but there's a really beautiful moment that happens with a spouse and a ballet dancer, there's a ballet number in the middle of it. And there's just a beautiful moment that happens. And as it was happening, I heard the whole theater just, and then I started to hear it. Like I could hear people start to like get emotional, and I could hear like the reaction. And you know how you can feel the air in the room change, and you can feel. And I remember like squatting down backstage and starting to like get emotional myself, because I remember thinking, it's working. Like it's working. Like they're hearing it, you know, like it's resonating.
Yeah.
And that's when I knew in that moment that I was like, we should probably try to do this.
Yeah.
Like,
wow.
We should probably try to find a way to keep doing this, which is not always an easy thing to do with live theater, because it kind of has its moment and then it's gone.
Right.
But it was in that moment for sure.
So this is first of all, I love that. This is the first coffee chat where I keep getting goosebumps, right?
Yes.
Like the moment I'm like,
yes,
know that moment, right?
Yeah.
I've had that moment in my own professional life, right? Where I'm like, this is going to work for me. Like this is going to actually happen.
This is actually happening. I know.
So I feel like there's this point where, though, you say to yourself, I can ride this high until the high is gone, or I can take it to the next level. Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to just jump straight into question 3, because Selena, if you want to read that out, it kind of just flows right.
Okay. What, Amy, are the next 3 steps in turning your passion into a profitable or nonprofit business? What did you do?
Great. That's a great question. So I rode the high back to Colorado, where we were stationed at the time, was feeling really good about it. And then my husband got orders to Alaska, and I went on the high to like, I was like, and that dream just died, because we're now moving to Alaska with bears and
mooses and
like, you know, it's not in Alaska. I thought at the time, like theater is not in Alaska that I know of. So we PCS to Alaska, and I was actually feeling very like, I don't know. And then the doors it was so incredible to see it happen. The doors just opened, and it became apparent that we should do the show in Alaska. And that's kind of where we started to form the nonprofit. So the nonprofit is the play, and it's also then creative and expressive arts workshops for spouses to come and share their story through different art modalities. So if that's writing or different types of art, storytelling, just a safe space to kind of create community and connect and share. So I would say, back to the question, the 3 steps for me are, you have to find people crazy enough to think your idea works. So I just got really blessed that Leah, who is my partner in the nonprofit, lived around the corner from me. Our husbands were in command at the same time. And I was like, hey, remember how you told me you used to own that business in Florida and you know stuff about business stuff? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, great. Do you want to do a business thing with me? And she was crazy enough to be like, yes, I do. What is it? And I'm like, well. So she came on board, and then my next door neighbor, Wendy, is a licensed therapist and is trained in expressive arts. And so I was like, hey, do you want to do workshops for spouses? And she was like, yes, and so, you know, first it's like, it's find your people, find people who are like, oh, all right, this feels crazy, but I'm in.
Yeah.
And then it's convincing somebody to give you some money. So being able to really kind of speak to your passion and why it's important. Yeah. And we got really lucky initially that we walked into I would not suggest doing this, but we did walk into a foundation that grants money, and we're kind of just like, hey, we have a great idea and we're here. And you know what? You should give us some money so we can do it. And somehow they were like, okay. They did.
You had the cojones, Amy.
Yeah,
so that's important.
Yeah,
that should be number 4, right? You got to have some.
Yeah, you do. I mean, Leah and I both were like, well, what have we got to lose? What are they going to say?
Right.
No. Okay.
Right.
You need some money. You need a crazy, group of people. You need some money. And then in the theater world, I would tell you, and I don't know how this would translate maybe to other businesses, but you do need a chance to like workshop it. You need a chance to like try things out and know like, oh, I mean, even every time we do the show, I'm like, ooh, how did I miss that? No, putting this in. And so I feel like oftentimes people jump in and you haven't given yourself the space or the time or the like, hey, we're going to try this for 6 months. And then 50% of that might not work. And so, okay, so we'll get rid of that and we'll adapt and move here. So you have to give yourself the safe space to workshop as we would do in the theater.
Yeah. I think that translates perfectly into pretty much any other business area.
Yeah.
I mean, essentially that time frame where you're testing your market, right? You're testing your product out. You're making sure that things are that your processes are good, that your client or your customer flow is happening. You've got the right marketing materials, all those things that you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's part of what I would call workshopping a new business.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think it's important to just because you started this way, always look at your business on how can does it need tweaking? Just because it's great here 100% 1 year ago, is it still at 100%? Are there new things that you need to like involve in your business now because times have changed and
and you're asking your audience, like, you're listening to your audience. And I'm like, oh, you know what? In that moment, they react really passionately. And in this moment, I hear everyone dig into their purse to get out their gum. So so that tells me that moment isn't working as well as the first moment. It's very specific, but it's still such a great, test market for what's working and what's not.
I mean, when you talk about like listening to your audience, like Amy, you legit get to be listening to your audience.
I'm like a total creeper. Like I'm always in the wings. Like, wait, okay. Oh, how's that line gonna hit? And I'm trying to like peek out and be like, oh no, I think she's crying. Oh no, that guy's
You hear the texting start and you're like, okay, time to change that part of the play.
We're not hearing that actor again. Forget it.
Oh my gosh, that's hysterical. We can move. Let's move on to the 4th question.
Yes,
because I could ask you a zillion questions.
I know
that's time.
All right, Selena. Wait. Okay. Here's number 4. Okay. How hard is it to be open-minded and flexible about your vision that you feel so very strongly about?
You know what? This answer kind of surprises me a little because I would tell you initially that I'm very open-minded and flexible and I'm adaptive and I'm an improver and I'm a performer. I can, I'm open-minded to all types of people and ideas and all of which is true. Yeah. But when it's your baby, I mean, this feels like, and again, slightly dramatic, I realize, but when it feels like your baby and somebody might come in and be like, hey, did you think about changing this? Or, hey, why do you do it this way? Or what is this? I do immediately feel like I would with my kids, like, hey, back off. You don't know what this show's been through. You don't know what we've had to do to get to this point. Like Like I do find myself defensive and wanting to be like, no, this is how we do it. This is how I want it. And I do think there is an importance to being able to say, no, this is how I want it. And as the person that created it and runs it, I have the authority to say, this is how I want it. Right? Even though we're often told, no, don't. I do have the authority to say, this is mine and I want it this way. But the flip side of that is any business and anything you do as a collaboration. So you have to be willing to listen to what other people are saying and kind of take your emotional connection and ego out of it to say, okay, maybe you're right. Maybe there doesn't need to be a big tap dance number in the middle of, maybe we can, so it's hard. It's super valuable and important, but it is hard to do.
Yeah. And I think that probably is pretty standard across the board because this is, I mean, we started out the conversation with talking about how this is your passion. Mm-hmm. It's not your job. It's not what you do. Yeah. It's not, what's paying the bills and your 9 to 5 kind of thing. This is something that has a deeper and more intense meaning for you. And I think when you find yourself in that realm and your business is built around that kind of an environment, then of course, I think that is a natural reaction to have, to want to protect it from criticism and, change, I guess, because like you said, I worked hard. You don't know what this has been through. I love that.
Well, and I think it also then the other layer of that is when you do something that is art, you're opening yourself up for things to be, I mean, it's subjective. That's the whole point. I mean, the whole point is that some people are going to love it and some people are not. And you have to be able to understand that that's how it works. And know that that's not personal. That's people coming in with their own opinions and biases and thoughts about how things should go and projecting that onto the work itself. And so the work just has to stand on its own. And, you can't always be reactive to whether people love it or hate it. You have to just have confidence in the work itself. So
that's great. Yes. And hey, look, there's no shame in going into the bathroom, shutting the door, having that like
absolutely not.
And then, punching the pillows and just getting all that aggravation out. And then you come back because you've processed in your way, because I totally understand that whole, when it's art, it's personal. It comes from something you've created out of what you feel. So, oh my gosh. Amy, all good things for people listening today.
Love you too. So, the best afternoon.
I know. I mean, okay. Well, we could. I mean, I think people are going to want to know how to find you. So I think we need to pop that up, right? Don't you think? So we're going to pop this up and Amy is going to tell you herself. Where do you want them to find you?
Oh my gosh, you guys, this is stressful for me because I'm old and I'm the worst at social media, as Anna can tell you. So you can find me at all these places that are listed right there. You can find me on our website. I'm not going to spell it. You can all read. It's on our website. We have a very active Facebook page. We're on LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn. We're on Instagram. And the nonprofit's name is the Veteran Spouse Project. Yeah. So, awesome. I Will Wait is under the umbrella of the Veteran Spouse Project is the overall nonprofit. It produces the play. It holds expressive and creative arts workshops for spouses. And it also does a documentary style storytelling where we go in and record and archive spouses' stories.
Let me just throw this out there really quick. I love this organization. I think that it does such a beautiful thing for military spouses, and it's totally this is not like your normal support organization that you find within the military. So I just want to mention a couple of things. The documentary styles that she's talking about can be found on their YouTube channel, and they are really good. It's between 3 and 6 minutes. I think the longest is there's
some that are longer, but they're
so highly recommend just taking a peek at those. And it really is literally just a spouse telling their story, and it covers all different topics, and it's very moving. And then they are currently doing their workshop series now, and it's focusing on, I would say, like wellness, kind of things right now. And so this month there's some meditation and there's some mindfulness kind of things. So if that's something that you're interested in, these are free to military spouses. There's no charge. So head to their website. You can register there, right, Amy?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And it's under the umbrella of healing through creativity. And like Anna said, we offer this month, I think it's mindfulness, and we're doing creating your own art journal to kind of journal and create art in. Next month, I teach a writing class where you come in and kind of tell your spouse story. And then we kind of curate it into a monologue format.
That's fantastic.
So we do that, and there's a bunch of great offerings for the rest of the year. So yeah, like Anna said, all free for military spouses, veteran spouses. And we're really proud of it. We have facilitators from all over the country that come in and work for us, and just have some great offerings for the mil-spouse community.
I want to make sure that the people understand this too. It's active, retired, and veteran spouses. It is not just active duty. So it covers. If you are a World War II era spouse,
please come.
Yeah. And they would love to see you there, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing.
Oh,
I can't. Well, I can't.
You did such a better job selling it than I did. Good work.
Highly recommend. 5 stars.
You're so funny. All right, guys. So make sure you find Amy. Make sure you go to the website and sign up for these classes. Just support. It's good to support another cause. That's not just about yourself. So okay, I'm going to shift over to our tip jar real fast, so we can kind of just share all the good things. Anna will tell you all what this is.
Yes. So Caitlin Eldridge is our resident CPA that gives us some great financial tips for entrepreneurs and small business owners. She says, invest in retirement. As an entrepreneur, no one else is doing this for you. So talk to a financial advisor, get an IRA, a Roth IRA, a SEP IRA, a solo 401k, something. She basically is pleading with you, anything. Yes. Set it up and regularly invest in it, because you do not want to be required to work forever. Forever. Yes. So super important. Remember your retirement savings if you're an entrepreneur, small business owner.
Yeah. You deserve to have a little bit later, Okay. And then we always we came up with a couple freebies that we have on our website. Grab your 8 things to do daily for social media. Go to our website. You'll see it somewhere on the link, anywhere, but AnnaandSelena.com, you'll find it. You'll see it. Go sign up, grab it. It's a free freebie. Gives yourself a checklist. Don't even have to think about it. Right, Anna?
That's right. That's right.
I love Anna's checklist. They keep
I know.
Point.
It's a good checklist.
I'm not great at the checklist or being organized. So
right.
Thanks, Anna.
Yes. So next week we have Amy Walker of Amy Walker Consulting, and she's going to be talking about the psychology of sales. So what goes behind somebody actually deciding to take your deal? As always, you can find us at AnnaandSelena.com, on your favorite podcast platform, on Instagram, on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, where all of our past shows. We're in season 6, people, and there's 10 per season. So we're talking almost 60 shows now at this point, with amazing speakers like Amy talking about all business best practices for small business and budding entrepreneurs. So go check us out. Amy, thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you, ladies, so much. Best afternoon ever. Let's do it tomorrow.
I know, right? Yes. Let's totally do it tomorrow. Okay, wait, before we sign off, I just have to share the airing of this show is the day of my daughter's birth. So I just wanted to send her a little shout out and say happy birthday. Hauoli laha now, Madeline, just in case she goes, wow, Mom, you didn't even tell me happy birthday, I love her. I love her.
Sweet girl.
I know. But yeah, Amy, you are just a treasure. And I just, see, look, Maddie, that's from Miss Auntie Anna there. But you are a treasure. Yes, there it is. We loved having you on today's show, and we can't wait to kind of we'll just learn more about you and connect better.
Same with you, ladies. I love the opportunity, and thank you for just creating something so amazing. And I just think the world of you both. So thank you.
Aww. Okay. All right, guys, we're going to sign out. So bye. Aloha.
Bye.